Welcome back to another Monday OnlineDrummer.com drum lesson. I'm Nate Brown. In this lesson, you'll need the sheet music called the most common, non-common time signatures. You can get that at OnlineDrummer.com, and you can find that in the link below. The term common time refers to the 4/4 time signature just because it's the most common time signature used. If you don't feel completely comfortable with 4/4 yet, it's probably better to spend time focusing on that. You can check out my book, Chart Topping Drum Beats 1, which contains all kinds of techniques for common time used in chart topping songs from the 60s through today. This is available as an ebook as well, so you can get it as an instant download or the paperback. And if you get that one, why not get Don Richardson's Chart Topping Drum Fills the 60s through today? It also goes through 4/4 common time. So these are the most common, non-common time signatures, and I started with ones that are close to 4/4 in that how do I want to say it? The rhythms are counted the same as in 4/4. It's just the measures are longer. So, for example, number 1 is a 5/4 time signature. And in 5/4, instead of counting to 4 like in common time, you're just going to count to 5. So I'll play number 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And I'll speed that up a little bit. Since there's an odd number of beats in the measure, it can seem kind of a little bit off. So it can take a little bit of time to get used to doing that. Number 2 is a drum fill in 5/4. Just a real simple idea around the toms. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. It's good to start with something simple so you can get used to playing to 5, especially if you've been doing 4/4 for so long. So I'll play the drum beat once, number 1, and then I'll do the fill in number 2, and then back into the drum beat. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and I'll speed it up. Number 3 is just 16th notes around the toms, and snare. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 5 E and the 1. Again, it's a good idea to start with very simple concepts just so that you can get used to playing to 5, and then you can gradually take your 4/4 concepts, add on another beat, and get more advanced. And now that I think about it, I actually have a time signature cheat sheet that I made, and I'll put a link to that below. It goes more in depth into the different time signatures and what they mean. 6/4, as you might have guessed, everything's counted like in 4/4, except that you go up to 6 beats. So in numbers 2 and 3, we went up to 5. Now we're going to go up to 6. This isn't going to sound as odd as 2 and 3 because it's, 6 is an even number. So number 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and I'll speed that up. Number 5, I just included because it reminded me of a time I went over to my buddy's house, and he had gotten a new keyboard, and there was this groove, like this funky hip-hop type of groove on the keyboard that he was playing. He's like, man, listen to this. It's crazy. Can you play that? And I'm listening to it. And, of course, I was thinking of it in the context of 4/4 because I think the bass line was actually playing a 4/4. So I had to write it out. And it actually turned out it's a 6/4 beat, and it's really funky and syncopated. I'll play it first, and then I'll go over the counting. So not only is it in 6/4, but we've got this really syncopated bass drum that's playing on a lot of the E's and U's. 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 5 and 6 and a 1. And a 1. E, 3 E. So that's a fun beat to play. I don't know when you'd ever actually get to use it. Who knows? You might write a song with your band or whatever, but it is cool. 6/8 is another common time signature. So look down to number 6. In 6/8, we're going to have 6 beats in a measure, except that no longer is the quarter note going to get one of those beats. A quarter note, well, let me just say it this way, an eighth note now gets the beat. So in 4/4 or common time, eighth notes are counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now eighth notes are counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 16th notes are now counted like eighth notes would be in 4/4. So 16th notes would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. I'll play number 6 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll speed it up. And if you repeat number 6 and 7 as like a 2-measure repeating beat, that's kind of cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll play beat number 6 once, and then I'll go into the drum fill on number 8. Number 9 is another drum fill in 6/8, just with 16th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and. 5 and 6 and are just 2 on each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Almost missed that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1 and 2. Number 10 is 12/8. 12/8 is very similar to 6/8, except that instead of 6 beats in a measure, there's 12. It can be really difficult to count to 12. I'll play number 10 counting to 12. I'll try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If I had to speed that up, it might be more difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So what we often do with 12/8 is just count them like triplets and only count up to 4. So it would be 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2, the 3 and 4 and I'll speed that up. And then there are a couple 12/8 drum fills. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and I started the counting over after I got to 6 and moved it back to 1 just to make it a little easier to count. 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. So instead of 7 here, I'm saying 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and. I hope this gives you a little introduction into some of the more common, non-common, meaning non-4/4 time signatures. These beats are fun to work through, and even though they're not as common, there will be some times when you do have to be able to read these or to be able to play them. If you have any questions as you work through these, post them in the comment box below. And if you enjoy this lesson and you want more, please like and subscribe. Check out OnlineDrummer.com on Wednesday for Patrick Marsapoyle's lesson. On Thursday, we've got Alex Ribchester. Throughout the week, Steve Lee will be posting drum videos, sheet music from our transcription team. We've got a lot going on. Keep drumming.